You said that every sun has its black hole and vice versa. So are there as many black holes as there are suns? And as many suns as stars in the sky?
That is correct. As there is an energetic exit, there must be an entrance to complete the pump or toroidal dynamics that keeps everything running in the material universe. However, they do not necessarily, sometimes yes, correspond by a place to exactly equal numbers, as in 74902 suns corresponding to 74902 black holes. I insist that yes, sometimes it is the case, but it obeys more the dynamics of balance of forces or energy potential. In other words, the total energy of those 74902 suns can be fed from only 67045 black holes that, even though they are less, equal the total energy power of those 74902 suns, or vice versa. All because inside what human scientists would call the singularity or the Einstein-Rosenberg bridge, everything is interconnected from the side that we would call the ether.
I see. Also, you mentioned that a black hole can swallow gigantic objects. Why don't we see then gigantic objects like planets, asteroids, etc. coming out of our sun or other suns?
Because everything has an equilibrium. It does happen, and it happened before, but that equates to catastrophic events, even tends to balance energetically, and remains so unless something moves or alters that balance. In other words, that does happen, but it is not unusual. It is not something that is observed very often. Another problem with observation is that it is mostly in another plane or frequency higher than 3D. As we have described before, the average of the universe is 5D, but yes, it happens.
How can a black hole kill the sun? It is the sun, just from the other side. I'm referring to the first image.
Yes, it can.
A black hole can absorb another sun with another black hole on the other side?
It's like sock reversing. It is how black holes are born, when the energetic flux is reversed by a change in the flux, or the etheric flow within the ether. A sun stops receiving exit energy and collapses with its own portal, changing the flow direction from exit to entry. It is like a sock that eats itself when it eats a star, which is what black holes are, inverted stars. They do not radiate, but absorb. It is part of their internal mechanism or dynamics, with all of them connected to one another. When a sun stops receiving energy from the ether, it goes out. This is due to internal changes in the network within the ether that connects all the stars. Since nothing is static, it is shutting off until it collapses with its own portal, reversing from radiating energy to absorbing energy. It goes reverse. It becomes a black hole.
Wow, okay. Next question. What gives us the physical feeling of warmth from the sun if it has no heat? And why some months it is hotter when the sun is closer to the Earth?
It is the effect that the specific frequencies of radiation of the suns have on the atmosphere of each planet, which begins to vibrate synchronously with that radiation. That is, its molecular activity increases, and the increase in molecular activity is synonymous with heat. The seasons of the year on the planets are due to their angle of inclination on the axis and the total angle at which they receive solar radiation. It depends less on their perihelion and their aphelion.
Okay, next one. This one is referring to you saying that other races still use wormholes and you have superior technology. Why don't the low-tech races get the supraluminar tech from the other races? I thought stellar races share technology.
Because, although there is cooperation between the races, they also adapt to their own needs. That is to say, most of the interstellar races use space portals, suns, and black holes for their transit, because that is how they have grown, and that is something they have been accustomed to, and many times they prefer it that way. Another point is that even among positive races, there are conflicts of interest, as it has been reflected in the Federation, which translates into conserving the best technology for own use, just as it happens on Earth. But mostly, yes, there is cooperation between the races. Even so, there will be races with capacity like ours, but still sometimes using portals and sometimes not. Example of this is Svaru and Susi that I know that have used solar portals too, not just hyperspace.
Okay. Can any of these portals take you back into the past?
The past is just another direction, address in space-time or fabric that makes up reality and space. The portals, be it space ones, solar, black holes, or small planetary ones, change the frequency of what is introduced into them. In other words, if the output frequency is equivalent to another point in time, past or future, whatever passes through it will come out there. In short, yes, they can take you to the past or future. That's why they can be dangerous and should be studied thoroughly first.
Thank you. Okay, the last one. How far is the sun from Earth?
The official data is mostly correct, about 8 light minutes. This is correct as official data since it is relatively easy to calculate, so it would not be reliable to hide the true distance if it were another.
Have you ever been very close to the sun?
Not the sun, not Taygeta Tau 19A either. But yes, I was close to Aldebaran's one, but not in distance. It is so big that you're relatively close. I saw Aldebaran as close as how, let's say, the sun looks from Mercury.
Thank you, Anéeka.
You are welcome.